The McCloskeys, that might have the most racist speech I've ever heard at a convention. This mob that was out to get us. They were so dangerous and led by this Marxist revolutionary who's now a congresswoman. That's Cori Bush. She's a nurse and a pastor. That's the Marxist revolutionary that was threatening your lives. Now, mind you, at that point, they're pointing a gun at Cori Bush and the other protesters. The protesters brought no weapons, had no violence. Okay, those particular protesters. Now, before the McCloskeys came on, they did a misleading audio tape of people screaming obscenities. Not from that protest, from other random protests. And they made it seem like that's what they were yelling at the McCloskeys. And then they show up, oh, we have poor white people in the suburbs. I mean, we're incredibly rich lawyers in the suburbs in a mansion. But still, poor us. I mean, just because we pointed our weapons threatening to murder peaceful protesters who are using their First Amendment rights, that mob, did you see them? They were all black, or almost all black. And God, that scared us. And that is so dangerous. And it might come to a neighborhood near you. Imagine black people in your street and you can't even shoot them. That's what I heard from the McCloskey speech. So if I was allowed to curse, all right, anyway. If America sees that speech and they vote for Donald Trump, then America is deeply, deeply racist.
So the McCloskeys, oh my God. Okay, so I'm looking because I used to live in St. Louis. Everyone knows that. I grew up there. I need to double check because it's been a very long time since I've been there. Maybe the community has changed. I don't really know they live in the suburbs. What do you even consider the suburbs? A gated community in the middle of the city that keeps the ruffians out because you're in the middle of the city. This happens in a lot of places. This happens in LA too. There's gated communities in the middle of the city. That's not the suburbs, at least my definition of the suburbs. Or if the suburbs become the suburbs because the walls come up and the gates have been implemented. So once people walk along the sidewalk in your gated community, they have infiltrated your home, according to the McCloskeys. And they're coming to a home near you. That's the message. And you went over all this, but there's plenty of times that people start assuming, hey, I came in this community, I bought this big mansion in this gated community because I'm afraid of the citizens that live nearby. So therefore, this is mine. If you get anywhere near it, I can come out and shoot you and then claim that you're coming to attack me. That's all that happened. And we got charged. Ooh, woe is me. What happened to these the way Republicans make fun of people and libs and snowflake libs for assuming victimhood all the time? Are you a victim? Are you a victim all the time? What's his name? Mark, Patty. Are you guys victims? Oh, are you victims in your own neighborhood? Hey, you know what? Maybe you should move out of that godforsaken neighborhood where they're letting minorities walk through it and then go somewhere else. Go way far out. Get pushed out the way you're pushing other folks out with every time you move into a new community and say, hey, did you know that we can take over this community and actually pay lower prices for these homes, renovate everything and shove people way out? Why don't you go ahead and take advantage of this chance to get away from more black people? No, are you a victim? It's a constant hypocrisy, speech after speech after speech. They say what is actually happening to other folks and claim it's theirs. Who's talking?
So it's Trump, but hold on one second. I just got to say one last thing about the McCloskeys. So it was the picture of entitlement. I'm allowed to point weapons at people because I'm a God-fearing, wonderful, white, rich person. They're not allowed to do their most central First Amendment right, okay, to peacefully protest. The Bundys are allowed to point weapons at cops because they're good patriots who believe in the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. Peaceful protesters are not allowed to exercise their First Amendment rights because they bother rich people in the suburbs, and we're allowed to point weapons at them. They are deeply racist. They've exposed themselves, they sicken me.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, Jayar. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.